Good evening, 6:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm T-Speaker222 with Swing Traders Anonymous, and I wanted to update you guys on swing trade number 51. So AV, as I told you guys, I bought in at 317, and I told you guys if it went down, I was just going to buy another one if it went down to about 300, and so far, it came down from 327. It was up around 327, I think, when I did the update. And I said 317 was support. And you could also wait for 307. I have zero interest in selling. In fact, I think what's going on here is we have a sneaky double bottom. This is just me, obviously. I'm not a financial advisor. Should you take my advice? Probably not. So, but even in the 1 hour, the 2 hour, I mean, it's starting to form. If this holds, obviously it's based around this holding, but it looks like to me we're building a sneaky bottom here, and I really believe when you look at this in the bigger picture that this is getting ready to finish this W. And it came down, it tested, and because of how quick this went up, it tested. All right, let me pull into here. It retested the W, the middle W. So it came back and retested the neckline. And you can see right here is where it's at. And here's the neckline in this range right here. And it tested. So that's why the uptrending support has not been toppled. That's why I said if you could get it at 307, you know, that would be the most desirable spot. And that's where I will buy another one. If it goes to 307, that was my plan. I bought it at 317. Got a fake up. When it came back down to 327, I came on and said that there is a major opportunity presenting itself. If you get it at 317 or 307 is the best price. But 317 was the support area. We were hanging around to 327 support, which we fell through. But now we're, at this 317, even though we're a little bit under it. So this is the area. It's diced into here like we talked about when I did the update. I distinctly remember saying that we could get caught up in something like this if we came down here before we pop up, and then hopefully we would start rolling up. So that was my plan. So I'm sticking to it. Nothing's changed. When I look at Bitcoin, honestly, Bitcoin doesn't interest me when it comes to AVE, because last time Bitcoin dumped hard, all the money went into AVE. So while all the rest were pumping, AVE's been down the last few days. Pretty much all crypto's been up the last couple days. AV's been down since its pump. And when I say down, I mean down. It's not just like it's down 4 or 5%. It's down 30+% right now. So when I bought it, it was almost 31% down. So it's like, for me, I'm $2.60 a share down. I don't care. I don't care if I'm $10 a share down. I know what I'm looking at. And if I gotta get out of it, it's gonna have to force me out of it by going way down. Because like I said, I'm buying one at 307 if it buys it. Now, if it can't hold my uptrending, well then I wouldn't buy it and I would sell. But that's my interpretation of the uptrend. So obviously I'm not a financial advisor, so you gotta make the best educated and informed decision. Make sure to hit that like button, turn that bell notification to all. And make sure to share this far and wide. And like I said, I believe we have this big W that's playing out. And it came down to retest a lower W in the 4 hour. Because we're working on a couple different patterns. But if you watch it, it looks like we're building something. And we came back down to test the actual neckline in the daily. Right here. So it sucks, but I was talking about it. That we were coming down to the neckline if we came farther down. So I like why I bought it. I just hate that it made that fake up. But I wasn't going to sell it for I was up like $200, $180. What's the point in selling it if I'm just going to buy it back? Then I got to pay the taxes, the in and outs. So I had already made a predetermined decision that I'm riding this until it pops, because I believe that it's doing something. And it's, even though that was a nice push up, it only came up to here to break this. And then it reconsolidated. If you break it down into a smaller time frame, came right back down, and now it's going to try to do its thing. Now, it's continuing the uptrend, and it's, if you look at it in a different way, if we could have had it like from a farther out, it's just hard to do it with this kind of time. But you can see it starting to It pulled up. It's starting to pull itself around. And it could be slingshotting at some point. That's what I'm playing for. It might not. It might do this. You know, and it might pull itself down. We don't know. But that's why we have our support line. So if 307 doesn't hold for me, and that's under the 310 in this area, which gives me confidence. Because the 307 would mean it bounced down here and it was trying to hook around somewhere in here. But this dump right here made a lot of sense with what Bitcoin just did. It was the perfect placement for what needed to happen. We could see this was building all day. And I've been talking to Adam, and we've been talking about this all day. And it just doesn't look like it's there's been a lot of moments here for AV, for everybody to just dump. And for the most part, it's holding. And we're in good shape because we're at the 317 level. I would have been more comfortable if I wouldn't have bought it at 317 and waited for it to come back around. Not because I'm mad about the 317, but because I could have seen the formation, watched it play out a little bit. But I had, you know, like I said, my plan is in full effect. And it is what it is. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And I live to fight another day because I'm not going to hold it for too long. But I feel pretty good about what I'm looking at here. Even with the sideways and down for it to dump, volume crashing, and now it's hitting this firm bottom, I like what I'm seeing. Cautiously optimistic, I'll say. So then, since we're in Swing Traders Anonymous, let's look at the overall state of crypto. So we've got the market cap is up 0.73%, and I believed we were going to do this with the Bitcoin market cap. But it took a little bit longer, but you can see this forming right here right now. So if this continues to pick up, this could be trouble for the altcoins, like I've been saying. But it leaves room for pumps, because even if this pushes up, it's going to have to come down here and consolidate. So in this consolidation area, you're going to get probably a pump. But this can simply mean, too, that Bitcoin's price is just fluctuating, and it has nothing right now to do with the, you know, overall effect. But there's some things that can be forming here, and we got to pay attention to it. Because if it breaks and starts... Because look, guys, it kind of looks like it's got its hand under it, ready to guide it, and I don't like that. Because then it's going to guide it into something like this in the long term. It's going to end up being like the... You know, it's going to end up rounding the bottom, and then you're going to have a very big problem here if this happens. Because I fear, what if we... Well, I don't fear, but... It could very well break that 46.91 again for Bitcoin dominance. But getting back up there pushes everything else down. Bitcoin Pro shares ended the day up at $2.07% at $40.39. That's the Bitcoin ETF. That's what I think is going to happen, but I can't be certain. But it just makes enough sense that seems to be what's going on here. So expect that on Monday or Tuesday up at about the 41.50 area. And Tether, we bounce off the bottom like I thought we would, but it's taken more time. It's definitely taken more days, that's for sure. Because we ended up getting held up here like we talked about. There was the chance we can start trading in here, and that's what we're doing until we eventually push up. And the overall pattern, it seems to suggest that that's exactly what's going on in a really big way. And we've even got the winding, and bouncing off the uptrending line. This is kind of what you were looking at with AV in a much smaller price range. And then for Bitcoin, good old sub pump. Yeah, non-stop rain here. Like I keep saying, even if we come down with Bitcoin, the way we would have to break down before this completely breaks down is you would have to come through this 60,000 area right here. And then you would have to, you can come down. And every time we try to come through, there's a lot of trading. So what I look at here, and not a lot of people talk about it because they're like, the overall pattern. Well, I'm looking at the immediate overall pattern. To me, how can this be anything but a left shoulder? I mean, yes, I can see that it could do this and then just dump through. But I think we could be looking at this. And if we are, we're looking at 64,865. And that could be why the Bitcoin dominance chart is ready to explode. Because the Bitcoin dominance chart suggests Bitcoin's ready to pump. Just what I'm seeing. So, But I am not a financial advisor. I am probably just some dick trying to get you to like my page and subscribe.